All right. Well, hey, good afternoon, Patriots. I'm on here a little earlier for those that are on the Facebook profile, or on my Facebook profile, I should say. If you did expect me, you probably expected me at 4 o'clock Eastern. But because of my schedule, I've got a very intense schedule coming up this afternoon. So I decided to jump on here a little early. Once again, for those folks who are following me, I want to make sure you all know that I am still keeping up with the pulse of what's going on with Donald Trump and with all of the injections and all the situations. However, you won't see very much, if any, of that on my profile page because my focus is really going to be on building and giving people an opportunity. Hey there, Lori, giving people an opportunity so that they will take charge of their life instead of expecting someone else. And I got to thinking about that the other day because, socialism, which always leads to communism, and which, of course, that's what the left has been pushing for the longest period of time. If you really think about it, if you depend on one person to change your life, and this may not, I want to make sure you don't mistake what I'm about to say, because some what I call legalistic Christians will mistake what I'm about to say. If you depend on one person to change your life, then you're going down a path and a track that will leave you to essentially fall apart. Now, most of you know that I'm a Christian, I'm a believer. But the difference between me and many of what I call a legalistic Christian is that I don't expect God to do it for me. Some people do. Many people that I talk to, they're when they're presented with a situation, they're not willing to step forward because they're in a waiting mode. I know people who have been waiting for God to do something for them for years. Now, these are good people. Now, I'm not in any way saying these are bad people, but guys, I want to be very upfront with you. If you're going to make any changes in your life, it's going to be you. It's not going to be God that does it for you. That's why I tell people, find out why you're here. The two greatest days in your life, Mark Twain said it best. He said the two greatest days in your life is the day you're born and the day you find out why. Have you found out why you're here? A lot of people, I remember when I worked with Zig Ziglar, he would say things like, most people are wandering generalities. They just kind of wander through life, and they wind up very frustrated in life. They wind up where they feel empty, and they just feel like they quietly tiptoe to their grave. And I remember a gentleman that I'm a good friends with this guy right now, and I have been now for 5 or 6 years. And he said he actually did a video not that long ago, and he basically, what the premise of the video was what is the richest place in your town? And it stuck out in my mind because I'm thinking, what's the richest place in my town? And he said it's in every town across America. I think it's probably in every town across the world. And when he said what the answer was, it was like, wow, he is right. You know what the answer is? Your cemetery. And think about this before you go, what? Why would the cemetery be the richest place in your town? Because so many people go to their graves with all their hopes, their dreams, their desires left on the inside. I remember my coach said something similar to that years ago, and he said, don't die with the music still on the inside. Most people do. They die with the music on the inside because, again, and I know I offend some people here, and that's not my intention. My intention is to wake you up. Okay. If you're waiting for that special moment in your life for somebody to do it for you, you got a long wait. You got a real long wait. And by the way, I'm going to come back to what I said in the beginning. If you're waiting for Donald Trump to do it for you, you got a really long wait. Can Donald Trump make America great again? Can he? I still think America's great now. It's just that we have somebody that's been trying to destroy it. Yes, I agree with you there. But him in by himself, he's not going to make America great. You're going to have to step up. You're going to have to take action. And so many people, what they do is they like they get up in the morning and they really don't know what they're going to do that day. They hope, they wish. Some people say they pray, but most people that I know that think they're praying, they're begging. And so my message today is really deals around Romans 12:2. One of my favorite, I just heard, we were on a training earlier for our company today. And the gentleman did a teaching from Romans 12:2, which is one of my favorite. I believe he didn't say this. I said this. Okay. But what he was talking about is transformation. And the transformation is what really starts to kick in, because you have to be transformed by the renewal. So how are you being renewed? Because it's about your mind. Now I'm going to awaken somebody here, because some people think the mind and the brain is the same. They're not, or it's not. Your mind, which this will freak some people out, is in every cell of your body. Every cell of your body, your mind is. By the way, did you get your water bottle yet? You really need this. With everything that's going on, I posted more information in the Passionate Patriot Telegram. There's more stuff going on with the water systems in our world today than ever before, and it's part of their plan, but that's not what I'm really wanted to talk to you about. What I wanted to talk to you about is, are you transforming your mind? Because if you're not transforming your mind, you're just going through the motions. Just like I know people that say, well, next year is going to be better, but they don't change anything. They really don't. I absolutely cannot stand New Year's. I'll tell you why. New Year's Eve, that is. Because most people, not all people, because I know I usually talk to an audience of, the 50s, the 60s and beyond, although there is some 30s and 40s I talk to. But you know what most people do on New Year's Eve? They get messed up. They blow up their mind, so to speak, with alcohol or drugs or whatever, and they think that that's going to give them a better year. You know why people do that? Because they like the feeling that it gives them, but they don't like the result that it winds up the next day, right? Well, it's the same thing in life, because you haven't transformed. What you've done is you've conformed. And that's what Romans 12:2 is all about. It says, do not be conformed to the ways and the patterns of this world system. Do you know the patterns of this world system, folks? The patterns of the world system is to follow the crowd. I call it follow the herd. And you know what the herd does? The herd goes to work every day. Like today is a Saturday. So most people, and I didn't say all, but most people are off today. A lot of people are off anyways. And then a lot of people, and I'll even use the word most people, are off on Sunday, right? But then there comes Monday. And man, most people don't like Mondays, especially if you got a job. And don't send me hate comments. And you might say, well, I love my job. Okay, if they didn't pay you, would you love it? That should end it right there. Okay? So what I learned about transformation is to really start thinking in a different way. Because as long as you think in what you're thinking, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. You probably heard insanity. The definition is to keep thinking what you've been thinking and doing what you've been doing and expecting a different result. Well, that's what most people do. They go through life and they're hoping and they wishing and they're going, well, I know that next year is going to be better. I know that next month is going to be better. What about this one? I know when Trump gets back, it's going to get better. Well, my question is, what if it didn't? Or what if he didn't come back? I believe he will. And you know that by now, the ones that follow me for a while. But to think that he by himself is going to change your life is a huge mistake. It's an absolute huge mistake. And my message is, no matter how old you are, because you could be 18, you could be 80. It don't matter. Because age is a mindset. Age really is a mindset. I mean, people ask me, so how old are you, John? I go, I'm not quite sure. I'm probably about 35. because that's how I feel. I feel great. Part of the reason I feel great is my mindset. The other part of why I feel great is because of the nutritional products I put in my body. Okay. But what I really hope that I could maybe get across here is that if you are not living the kind of life that you would like to live, why not? Because you could. Now, it will take change, but the change starts in your thoughts. And you know what? I talk to people all the time, and I'll ask them this question: are you living the life you'd really like to live? And you know what I usually get? Well, not really. And then here comes the death word, but. They're like, but, I'm too old. Or, but, I guess. And the minute you start saying, but, I guess, you know what that is? That's a sense of not being certain of anything. See, what I teach all my coaching clients is get rid of words like but, I guess, well, because a person that does all of that kind of talk, they have no clue where they're going in life. And I'll go back to what Zig taught me. He said, those people are wandering generalities instead of being a meaningful specific. Remember, I started off by saying the two greatest days of your life is the day you're born and the day you find out why. See, when you find out why, my life scripture is Romans 9:17. If you hadn't seen what it is, look it up. That's my life scripture. Because what I do is my mission is to go out there and be God's voice. I'm not religious. Now, remember that. A lot of people think I'm religious. I ain't religious at all. As a matter of fact, I'm like Jesus when it comes to that. Did you know that Jesus couldn't stand religious people? And by the way, religious people couldn't stand Jesus either, because it was them that hung him on a tree or a cross, whatever you want to look at it as. The point here is, what are you doing to transform your life? That's my question. What are you doing? I mean, are you going out there and living life to the fullest? See, I intend to live until I die. Most people are slowly dying each and every day. Some people I know, because they message me all the time, John, what am I going to do? When's Trump coming back? And I mean, you could hear it. And when they get on the phone with them, they're like, I don't know what to do. See, I am so excited right now, partially because of what we offer with our business. And for those that are really wondering what we do, please give me a call. I'm telling you, you'll come away amazed at the opportunity that's presented in front of you. Last night, we did a presentation. We had a special guest on that presentation. And this was a lady that, I mean, everybody that was on there was blown away by her expertise as far as our product line. If you would like a copy of that, reach out to me. I'll get it to you, because you would be amazed. She stated stuff I didn't even know as far as what we offer. There's things out there today, folks, that you are putting in your body that you will look back later, and some of you will say, gosh, I wish I would have known that. That's because you didn't do what you must do. You must do your own due diligence. Don't expect somebody else to do it for you. But what I am willing to do, and what Antoinette's willing to do, is be able to share information that can radically change your life in a very, very positive way. By the way, that's part of transformation. See, most people, they keep doing what they've been doing, even though they don't even have a clue what they're doing. Like, for instance, somebody said this to me. They said, well, I don't know what's in my vitamins, or I don't know what's in this or that, but my doctor told me it's good for me. What did you say? Now, I'm not against doctors. I don't go to doctors. I haven't been to a doctor in, I don't remember. Oh, well, yes, I do remember. It was December of 2019. That's the last time I've been to a doctor. I'm going to say this because I know there's going to be some doctors that'll watch this, and they're probably not going to like what I'm about to say, but I don't listen to doctors. You know why? Especially in the area of nutrition. I had a doctor that told me and this was one of those opened up doctors that is willing to share truth. She said that she had 2 hours of training on nutrition the whole time she was in medical school. Now, I don't know if that's standard or if that was just her. I don't know. But that's all I needed to hear. I'm like, 2 hours? You know how many years they go to medical school and to get a degree and to do all that kind of stuff? 2 hours of training. So doctors, matter of fact, I put something in the, let me see if I can find it. If you hadn't seen this, you probably have seen this before, but where is it at here? It's here somewhere close, because I remember I just recently put it in there. Oh boy, where did I hide that sucker? Well, I don't see it here, but basically what it said, let's see, I'll look in my Telegram channel, see if I can find it there. But basically what it said is that the pharmaceuticals, they don't, right here, the pharmaceutical industry does not create cures, they create customers. Think about that. The pharmaceutical industry does not create cures, they create customers. But yet people, now hear me, people will take pharmaceutical drugs all the time and they don't have a clue what's in them, but they'll keep taking them. You know why? Because they're part of that herd that I talked about. They haven't stepped out. They haven't been transformed. The transformation that I'm talking about is changing and making sure that what you're putting in your body, and by the way, what you're doing for a living to create income, is going to be in your benefit, not in the government's benefit, or when it comes to what you're putting in your body is actually in your benefit instead of the doctor's benefit. Think about this. If a doctor keeps prescribing something for you over and over and over again, like they used to back in the day for me, they always would tell me, well, you got to take these blood pressure pills, right? I felt like shit. They'd tell me to take these water pills. I felt bloated. And I was always going to the bathroom. That was a miserable life. But yet people do it all the time. I mean, after all, the doctor told me to. The doctor said it was good for me. See, this is the problem that I see with not just America, but with the world. But what I'm saying is have you really done your due diligence? Have you really figured out? They're doing things right now that I don't want to say, no, you do want to know, but maybe if you found out, you'd be shocked. Just like, let me show you something right now. Did you know that every drug that has been banned was first approved by the FDA? Did you know that? But, a lot of people will say, well, is that stuff you're talking about approved by the FDA? I mean, I just want to make sure that everybody realizes what we're dealing with. Our government here in the United States is extremely corrupt, number one. At the lowest level, it's corrupt, okay? That's why I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I am a patriot. I am somebody that lives by the Constitution of the United States. When I raised my hand and said I will support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, guess what? That's what the founding fathers were all about. So let's get back to Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to the ways and the patterns of this world system. If you are following the crowd when it comes to how you make money or what you put in your body, you're following the crowd. You're not living in a transformed world. You're living in a conformed world. And I'm just telling you right now, that's a big, big mistake. So again, I cannot emphasize it enough. We have had so many people who have messaged us, and it's been quite touching because they're like, I can't believe how much better I feel now, or I can't believe the opportunity that you presented in front of us. It's there for the taking, as they say. So I'm just asking, if you're not where you want to be financially, if you're not where you want to be in your health, I believe very strongly that we have an answer, but you have to pick up the phone. You have to call us. So anyways, let me recognize who's here, because all these folks are taking time out of their day on a Saturday. We have Lori Love, Alice Ewings, Gina Bishop, Christine Canelli, Margaret Peterson, Thelma Dasho, which I'll tell you what, that's a great patriot up there in Michigan. There are patriots in Michigan. Okay, let's see. We have Howard Clapp, my buddy there. Derek Turner, my buddy in Utah. And that day's getting closer. I'll be in Utah, bud. Scott Rott, thank you, Scott. And Andrea Lee Davison. There is I'll tell you what, guys, there's something that's going to be happening, and I'm not talking about Trump because you might think that's where I'm going. There's something that's going to be happening in the business world that is going to shake the business world, and it will not be the same. I'm not going to mention, we talked about it last night on that call. And there will be people that'll say, dang, I wish I would have known about that. I hope you reach out to me. I'd love to share with you what that is. So anyways, God bless you. God bless America. And my plan is to come back. Antoinette and I are super, and I may sound a little bit facetious here, but we're getting ready to go out into this 100-degree heat because we're really working on our fitness. We're working on our endurance, because those who endure to the end shall be saved. So we're really working on that. And I'll be back later today to maybe share with you a little bit how that went. So God bless you. God bless America. Go out and make it a great day. Remember, you're the only one that can do that. We'll talk to you later.